Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining. Welcome to Meaningful Monday. So today is probably one of my favorite topics in the whole world, manifesting, because it's actually all my business. Everything that I do in my business is about creating the life of your own design or creating the life that you want. Manifesting is actually an art. It's a skill. And there have been other previous Meaningful Mondays that have kind of hi there, I can see you now, that have kind of alluded to how to, for example, living in harmony with universal law was one that I did to help people understand how we can manifest. But tonight is really the key to it, because I get so many personal messages from people who tell me they're doing everything that they know that they should be doing, and what they want doesn't show up. So just for everyone's sake, just let you know this is going to be recorded for people who can't make this time zone. So if you don't want to be on the recording, you can stop your camera. But otherwise, please do join in and participate. I'd love to have your participation. All right. So Meaningful Monday, as I said, is about helping you get the awareness. When I say create the life of your own design, get the awareness that we do create our own reality. And this specific topic of what's the key to manifesting is really about raising your awareness to another level, I hope, tonight, about what you can do to create what you want. So if you think about yourself, tell me, do you think, hi John, welcome. Who here, and I want you to just raise your hand or shout out to me if you can. You're all on mute. Let me just unmute you. Who here thinks that they intentionally and often create their own reality?
Yep.
Okay, great. Blandine, hi, welcome. Thank you. Nice to see you. And who here doesn't think that they intentionally and often create their own reality?
Yeah, I wouldn't say often.
Good. Well, then there's a purpose for you being on the webinar. So this is really what I'm going to talk about. Many people think that they do, and they do. And some people don't have any clue how things happen. So I'll help you with that. But what I really want to talk about is perhaps this, which I hope that you can all relate to. Let me just change the slide. Right. Who can relate to this? You have goals. You have a process. It's your own process. I'm just going to put some of you on mute. Just hold on. Just a bit of background noise. Okay. If you want to unmute your own microphones, please unmute your own microphones so you can participate. I'd love your participation. So who can relate to this? You have a process to manifest. You do whatever you do. Maybe you write it down. Maybe you use visualization. Maybe you use manifestation. Maybe you meditate on it. Maybe you repeat it over and over. Maybe you draw it. Maybe you create a vision board. I don't know. But you have this process, and when you use it, you get success. So have you ever had that in your life? Yes? Okay, you're all
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Now, have you ever had this? You take this process and you get a manifestation, yay. You have another goal, you use the same process, you get another manifestation, yay. You have another goal, you use the same process, you get the same manifestation, yay. Then you have a goal, you use exactly the same process, and nothing happens. And you don't understand why. This even happened in my life. You get so good at manifesting, you're using a process, it works, and then suddenly it stops and nothing is effective and you don't know why. Even though you're doing exactly the same thing and you're doing it again and again, and there's something missing. So this is what I'm going to share with you tonight. So you're going to love this presentation if this is what happens in your life. So the question I have is, do you know why? Why would that be the case, that sometimes the process works and sometimes it doesn't work? Well, the question is, what creates the manifestation and what creates the non-manifestation? So I'm going to share tonight some steps that are out of the Silva method. Some of you are Silva method graduates on this call. It's not going to be rocket science that I'm sharing, not going to be something probably that's bright and sparkly and new. However, as simple as it is, it's really important for us to learn what I'm going to share with you tonight and get right into the detail and the precision of it, because this that I've just shared happens to everybody. We practice things and we don't get what we want. So even though you may know what I'm going to share with you, what we're going to do tonight is take a bit of a different thing. We're going to go a little bit backstage, look at it from the backstage of your life, where the actors are hanging out in the wings while you create the movie of your life. What's actually going on backstage if your life, as it carries out, is like exactly the same as a movie. What I'd like you to do now, I'm going to flash a saying on the screen, and I'm going to flash it really quickly. So I want you to have a good look, focus on the screen. It's going to flash for a second or two, and the words are all jumbled up. I want you to all unmute your microphones, and I want you to tell me, what is this saying? Are you ready?
Yep.
What is the saying?
I saw it, I believe, see. That's all I saw.
So what is the saying? All the words are jumbled up.
I didn't say a thing.
There we go.
Still don't see anything.
Really?
No.
Yeah, just a black screen.
Okay, there it is. I'll leave it on then. What is the saying? Tell me as quickly as you can. The words are jumbled up.
I believe it when I see it.
Say it out loud.
Oh, okay.
Say it.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe it when
Stop
I see
right
it.
there.
I see that.
Stop right there. Yep. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it, you said. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the reason we don't manifest. Write that down. You said, I'll believe it when I see it. This is the bottom line. This is the bottom line. This is the reason we don't manifest. This, you'll see it when you believe it, is the opposite, because you said, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm saying you'll see it when you believe it. It's as simple as that. This statement says it all. When it comes to manifesting, it's one and one thing only, and it's that it will show up in your life and you'll see it in physical reality when you believe it. And it's not the other way around. In fact, I think Wayne Dyer wrote a book called You'll See It When You Believe It. Yeah, he did. I've actually got the book. So tonight we're going to talk about, hey, Malcolm, I just saw you there for a flash. So tonight we're going to talk about this thing about you'll see it when you believe it. So believing is something we can actually create. The belief in our subconscious mind is something we intentionally go about creating. So we do this in the Silva method, as I said. So I'm going to share with you some steps out of the Silva method. It doesn't matter if you've done it or not. If you have done it, you'll relate. This will be easy. And if you haven't done it, then you'll learn something about what we do in the Silva method, and it may help you in your life. So the Silva method's got 3 steps for all manifesting of goals. And it's these 3 things: desire, belief, and expectancy. So my friends, what is desire? Help me here. What is desire?
Things that you want.
Things that you want. Yes. Anybody want to say it any other way? Go on. It's not a witch hunt. You can't get it wrong. What is desire?
When you really, 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 really want something.
Okay, let's call it the awareness of what you want. Someone else said it's what you want, like your goal. How do we get to desire? What's the birth of a desire?
Wants, material wants.
Yes, it could be material want, but how do you get to that? I want that thing. How do you get to that awareness? I want.
When you
It comes
recognize
through
that
the
you're
heart.
missing something.
Okay, keep going. I don't mind who talks at the same time. Comes to the heart, someone said, and then what someone else was talking?
I said it's when you realize that you are missing something.
Thank you.
And then you want something.
Bingo. John, you get the prize. Yes.
Right.
Someone bless you, whoever that was.
Good job.
So we have desire as a result of an awareness of something that we don't want. So when we are dissatisfied or unhappy or something goes wrong, it's desire. I'll give you an example. How many of you have ever felt tired? If you felt tired, you know how much you love having energy. How many of you have ever been really, really hungry? When you're really hungry, you have a desire that you want food. If you're really, really lonely, you have a desire that you want to be with someone. If you're really, really broke, you have a desire that you want more money. So desire is birthed from the contrast of it. And in the Silva method, there's just some noise in the, so if you are, I'm going to put someone mute there. There we go. So with desire, it's the starting point. And I have to say, desire is really, really important. What we want in the Silva method is we want clarity of desire. So we actually do an exercise where we first get clear as to what it is that you want. So for yourself, in your own life, think right now, what area of your life, or maybe there's more than 1 or 2 or 3 or 7, get a pen and paper and take the time to write out very clearly what it is that you want. Every guru says write down your goals because it makes us get clear. In the book Think and Grow Rich, when they talk about desire, it says it's more than a desire. It's got to be an all-consuming obsession. It's got to be an intense desire, a burning desire. So in Think and Grow Rich, it actually talks about how you can fuel desire. So sometimes we don't get goals, my friends, because we don't have a strong enough desire. We have a lot of desires of many things that we want, and something doesn't show up. And I have to say, go and check step 1. Go and check step 1 in the sense that it's here, and go back and check step 1 in the sense that you really do have a burning desire. And if you don't, convince yourself every day that you have a burning desire to achieve it. You can induce this feeling. And then, of course, if you look at it and you think, I don't really have that much of a desire, let the goal go. Maybe it's not the right thing for you. Okay, that's the first one. Now, desire being step 1. This is all you need to do to manifest anything. You've got to let your desire flow and then practice the feeling of it until it becomes your natural momentum. So let that desire flow, practice what it feels like if you had it already, and just keep practicing that feeling of that desire until that becomes your natural momentum. Yes, John?
Here's my issue with all this. For some reason, I've picked up a meme or whatever that desire is the root of all evil. You know, that desire is the issue. So I don't actually try to emphasize. Yes, please, please.
It's greed. It's a mistranslation.
This is what I'm referring to what Buddha said, that desire is the root of all evil.
I would say greed is the root of all evil. Desire is natural in all things. Yes, what Buddha is saying is, look, Buddha's enlightened being. I'm not nowhere close to that, and I don't know if anyone on this webinar is close to that.
Right.
So we do have desires, and we are, living the lives that we're living. Attachment to a desire or the awareness of something that you don't have causes suffering, or aversion to something that you don't want that's really happening in your life is also causes suffering. So Buddha talks really about those two things, aversion and craving. But it's craving, it's greed. Desire, on the other hand, is I don't see desire as a bad or evil thing. I see desire, if you want something, it doesn't matter what it is. Let's say you want to leave your work and start your own business. I would never go and tell someone, soften that desire, it's evil. I'd say, feel that desire with all your passion, your whole heart, because where we're passionate about and what we really love in our life has got something to do with our reason for being here. We are only passionate about the things that have a certain purpose for us. So I would say desire is a necessary ingredient for us to create the life that we want. we do need to be aware of, yes, our greed or how obsessed we are with material things, but that's very personal and I can't judge you or anybody or get into that. But when it comes to money, for example, the correct phrasing is greed. The greed of money is the root of all evil, because when you're greedy, you're prepared to violate the rights of others to get what you want. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying you have a burning desire to create the life that you want in order to make this world a better place. And I'll talk about that a bit further. It's like having a purpose, because passion leads you to your purpose, and purpose always relates to others. And what we mean by relating to others, it means we add value to others. So I'm coming from that standpoint. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but he also talks about non-attachment. And if we have a desire, doesn't that create an attachment?
Yeah, it does. We talk about non-attachment. It's actually in this presentation. So that's correct. So we have a desire, but we're not attached to the outcome. So I'm just going to add the next step onto this. If you take desire plus belief plus expectancy, the three added together gives you faith. And when you have faith, you don't have attachment. So faith is the surrender. It's the surrender experience of trusting that this thing will show up in whichever way, shape, or form that is most right for you. It means we have faith that it will show up what we want, or better than that. We say in the Silva method, everything's all better than that, because whatever you call it, source energy, God, infinite intelligence, whatever it may be, has a far broader and better perspective of what's right for you than we could ever have for ourselves with our finite minds. So sometimes we want something and something else shows up. So faith is when you say, I want this thing, but you're not attached to who's the person who's going to bring it to you, what date it will arrive on, how it will get there, whatever it may be. It's just, you have this desire, and what we have to do as a step to make it manifest is then create a new belief. Because remember, it says what you believe, you'll then see. What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So it's all about belief. Now,
I can accept that, and that makes a lot more sense, because it's not it's basically the attachment you're talking about that's the problem.
Yes,
but the desire is okay.
Yes, correct. Because if we're
desiring all the time.
Pardon?
Because we're desiring all the time. But that stuff doesn't come up because we also attach to it other things.
Correct. Can I give you an example of this?
Yes, please.
If a person had a very strong desire for love, this is a really weird example, but it just popped in my head, for love with a certain person, but we're attached to the condition. So we attach to the person. So it's got to be this person's, that name, that surname, that identity. And that person leaves. In the most extreme cases, you'll find that people seriously murder for greed or passion. So it can be jealousy. They would go and actually harm the other person. If I can't have you, no one else can. That's what the guy with the Blade Runner shot his girlfriend through the door, that murder story. Because if I can't have you, no one else can, that's jealousy. Now, if he wasn't attached and all he wanted was a loving relationship and she wasn't the right one for him and she didn't want him, he wouldn't be attached. He would let her go, knowing that he's wanting someone who does love him the way he wants to be loved. That's an example of things going wrong because of attachment. Attachment of very specific conditions. It's not about just the desire of the feeling that you want. That feeling, let that flow through you. Does that help?
Yes, very much so. Thank you.
Okay, right. So we need to find a way to be happy before the manifestation has occurred. This is the key to manifestation. We have got to be happy in the unconditioned. The money hasn't shown up yet, but you feel the feeling of abundance. The person hasn't shown up yet, but you feel the feeling of joy and love and companion. The job hasn't shown up yet, but you got the feeling of satisfaction having the perfect job. This takes work. this is the work to manifest that we need to do, is to somehow not focus on the real conditions and circumstances that are in front of us, but let the desire flow, practice the feeling of it until it becomes your natural momentum. And if you practice this long enough, you will create a new belief. Now, there's a way to create a belief, and I'm going to share this with you as well, so just stay tuned here. When you have now this burning desire, and you have a strong enough belief because this feeling has flown and you've convinced yourself and you're going to have it, and your belief becomes so strong, it becomes a knowing that this thing's going to happen. And that's expectancy. We know this thing's going to show up. We know it so strongly, we expect it to just be there. We expect it to just happen. So I'll give you an example. When people are trying to reduce weight, if they haven't got a strong enough belief and they haven't worked on the belief side of themselves yet, and I'll give you the formula in the next slide, then the expectancy is not strong enough. So what happens is if they drop a couple of kilograms, if you don't get rid of the clothes that were one size bigger for you, then your expectancy is that you're going to go back to being that size again and you're going to put the weight back on. So expectancy is often reflected through your actions that you're taking in harmony and in alignment with the thing that you desire and that hopefully you believe is going to show up. Now, desire plus belief plus expectancy equals faith. Faith is a state of mind. Faith can be cultivated. Faith is the power principle of all time. Now, I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about any faith-based organization. I'm talking about a state of mind. So faith, even if you had no religion, it could be faith in yourself, faith in your purpose, faith in your abilities, faith that you're going to improve conditions in the world, whatever it may be. So all miracles are because of faith. It's when the impossible becomes possible. How does that ever happen? It only happens for one reason, and it's faith. So when it comes to manifesting, you don't have to know how. In fact, I would strongly suggest you suspend the need to know how. When you want something, don't ask how. Keep a strong burning desire. Let that desire flow, that feeling flow through you. As I said, till you practice it repeatedly, as if you've got this thing, it becomes a natural momentum. Over time, it's going to create a new belief. And there's things I'm going to share with you to create a new belief intentionally. And then you expect this thing to show up, and that's faith. So it's that state of mind. There's this beautiful saying that says, faith is not belief without proof. It's trust without reservation. And I think that's really beautiful. So once you believe something, it will become your reality. Now, if any of you have seen this little stick man, I've presented it in so many previous Meaningful Mondays. I hope you have, but basically it's just a quick illustration of how the mind works, saying let's just imagine the top half is the conscious mind and the bottom half is the subconscious mind. And we know that 90% of the time we are on autopilot. And that means that 90% of the time, our subconscious mind is the thing that's operating, and it's our subconscious mind that drives our behaviors. That's why the blue dot is in the body. The subconscious mind drives the body, and whatever the body and behaviors are doing gives us our results. So when we have to practice this thing of desire, belief, and expectancy, you can choose. You have an option. You can either use your conscious mind at the top there and act as if this thing's manifested already and get that feeling state of it, or you could go straight to the subconscious level and reprogram your mind at the subconscious level to get the results you want. So if you've ever listened to the 4 key skills presentation that I do, you'll know the answer to this question. If you haven't watched the 4 key skills, I urge you to go back and find on the YouTube channel the 4 key skills to take charge of your life. But in that presentation, I mention the answer to this question, and I'm going to ask you here now. How many times more effective is it to change your results by reprogramming the subconscious mind than to use your conscious mind and effort? How many times more effective is it to work at the subconscious level? Any guess?
Probably 1,000 times.
Okay, 1,000 times, good guess. A lot more. Go more. How many more? Any other guess? No guesses? I'll tell you. 30,000 times. According to neuroscience, it's 30,000 times more effective to reprogram your subconscious mind to get that result you want than to try to do it with conscious mind. And this is what I'm talking about. Conscious mind, and these personal development gurus tell you, act as if you've got it already. Believe that you have it and get the feeling. Yes, you can do that. It takes work. My friends, it's 30,000 times more effective to program the subconscious. So I'm going to share this with you. How do we program the subconscious? Okay, it's coming up. Hold that space. Let me give an example before I get there. Think about something you want. Think about how much money would you like to have in your bank account tomorrow? I'm going to do a little bit of a average here, like a poll. How much money would you like in your bank account tomorrow if you could just manifest that? Give me an answer. I've got an average number here. Give me your number, and I want to see how close you are to average. Anything. Give me a number. How much money would you like in your bank account? It's just an example. So give me whatever you want to say.
$3 million.
3 million. Anybody else? Come on, just one more guess. Come on. Just a number.
2 million.
And what about you, Malcolm?
382,950.
You can have anything you want. So you chose that.
You know
okay.
what I need that for.
Yeah, I know. When I ask audiences questions, I get all kinds of answers, and generally the average comes out at 10 million. Now, if we said, okay, you want 10 million in your bank account tomorrow, my question to you is it likely that it will manifest there by tomorrow? Yes or no?
No.
Right. So this is where we have a conflict. We have a desire and a belief that don't match. This happened. This is a silly example. I've just used a big amount of money to prove a point. But in your own life, with your own results, in whatever it is that you want, how many times do you have a desire and a belief that don't match? So in other words, we focus on the current conditions. I'm not well, I'm not well, I'm not well. Our desire is to be healthy. But because we focus on the current conditions, we can't create a belief that matches our desire. Because once your belief matches your desire, it can manifest. But we have to create a new belief, even when we're still unwell. Or if you want a relationship, or if you want more money, or if you want whatever it may be in your life. So you have an opportunity to create this unconditioned for yourself, which will create a new belief for yourself. And once you create a new belief, what happens is your vibration changes. It means if you believe something, of something that you really want, you are going through in your physiology in your body, the same things, the chemical reactions in every cell of your body are changing according to this feeling of having this thing, because you've got a new belief, it will happen. You've got the desire, you've got the belief it will happen, and it's so strong, you have an expectancy it will happen, you now have full faith. You would have endorphins and all positive chemicals flowing through you, which will change your vibration. If you're stressed about something because you don't have it, you've got adrenaline flowing. That lowers your vibration. So you've got to have a belief that matches the desire that you want, and then your vibration changes, and then you'll become a vibrational match to the thing that you want, and then it can actually flow into your life. So when we keep thinking to ourselves, this thing hasn't happened, all we're doing is separating ourselves from the manifestation. So every time you focus on what you don't have, even though you want it, you are keeping it away from you. You are having this awareness that you're struggling with the absence of this thing. So we have to somehow be vigilant and disciplined with our mind and our thoughts to not focus on the current conditions and to create a belief using our faculty of our mind called the imagination, and start to create something in the mind, in the mind's eye, and focus on that or a different subject, but never on the not having. So when I say different subject, what I mean is you could get distracted by loving your dog, or going to a friend's birthday party and the person's saying, you know, I'm loving my birthday party, and you're dancing and you're having a good time. You're distracted from the goal. Whenever you're distracted, that's great, because then you have no angst about the missing of this thing in your life. And if you are going to think about this thing in your life, you have to be very disciplined to not think about the absence of it, and to create a feeling that you have faith. It's done. It will show up. It's coming. You expect it. Now, that takes work. So the truth is this: the universe does not hear your words. The universe hears your vibration. So even if we say, you know, I really want this, or I believe I'm going to get that job, and you tell your friends, I believe I'm going to, but deep down inside, you don't really believe you're going to get that job. You've got a bit of doubt. The universe doesn't hear your words that you're saying, I believe I'll get that job. It feels and hears your vibration. So we do need to change our vibration. And the only way to change your vibration is to create a new belief. So how do we create a new belief? Well, there's two ways. Through repetition. That's like people using affirmations. They repeat it over and over and over and over. Even in the book Think and Grow Rich, there's a formula in here, and you have to repeat it over and over and over and over through repetition. The other way to create a new belief is through emotion. So an example, if a child ever had a very strong emotional experience, whether it was good or bad, let's say it was with a dog, a good or bad, whatever was the emotion, it will create a belief about dogs based on that strong emotion. If it was scary, they'll be scared of dogs. If it was loving, they'll always love dogs. So your emotions create beliefs. And your subconscious mind is also your emotional mind. So when we use both repetition and emotion, then we've really got something powerful going on. Right, so here's the formula that I'm going to share with you to create a new belief. Because desire, belief becomes expectancy, which will give you the faith without attachment, and that's how we manifest. So we spoke about desire. The first thing is desire. In the book Think and Grow Rich, it talks about desire as an entire chapter. Now, to create a new belief, there's 3 steps. Now, we do this in the Silva method. The first one is go into the alpha state. The alpha state is a calm, relaxed brain wave state, where your brain waves are about half of what they are now, like when you're meditating. Why do we need the alpha state? Well, any guesses? Why the alpha state? No? Okay, I'll tell you. When we're in the alpha state, you have the most access to your subconscious mind in order to make impressions on it. If you try and repeat an affirmation like you are now, wide awake, you got to bang really hard, like banging this cup on the desk repeatedly to try and make a dent. If you go into the alpha state, where your brain is calm and relaxed and not thinking about monkey mind things, it's like impressing this cup into Play-Doh. It just sinks in. The impressions you make in the subconscious mind are deep, sustainable, long-lasting, and strong. Yes, John?
Well, in that case, wouldn't it be even better to go into the theta state or delta state? Wouldn't you get more closer to the subconscious in that case?
I wouldn't say delta, because we don't know, because delta, so delta is when you're in an anesthetic. So people do still take suggestion. The brain, the subconscious still hears, even in delta, but you have no control, so you can't control the process, right? Theta, yes, we can program in theta. It's a very deep programming state. However, most people are asleep in theta. In the Silva method, you've done hand levitation, where we use the theta sound and go deep and deep and deep and deeper. so theta is good for mind-body healing. Yes, you can program in theta. It's strong. However, when you're in the alpha state, you are more conscious. So the activation of your imagination is easy. You're not so sleepy. So alpha is the most stable brainwave state, great reception to the subconscious. And also, when you're in the alpha state, and only the alpha state, you're most receptive to intuition. So to create a new belief, you want to get into alpha. That's step number 1. That means close your eyes, breathe deeply and slowly and rhythmically until you're very calm, like meditating. Step 2, use your imagination. I use the word imagine for a very specific reason. I could have used the word visualize. What's the difference between visualizing and imagination? Any guesses?
Visualizing is still your conscious mind, whereas imagination comes from the subconscious.
Not really. Any other guesses? So basically, visualization is kind of recalling, this is in the Silva method definition, things using memory, things that you've done before, things that you're familiar with, that you kind of, have done or can see, or when you see yourself in your mind doing it, something you've done before. Imagination is going far beyond that. Imagination is thinking thoughts that you've never thought before. It's building neural pathways that you've never used before. So in other words, if I said to you, close your eyes right now and imagine that you're starting to float, and you floated right up through the ceiling of your building, and then you put your hand out like Superman and you flew straight to the moon, and then you did a bit of a moonwalk when you got on there. If you visualize that or used your mind to imagine that, you've used your imagination. So, because you've never thought that thought before. So I specifically put imagine there because when you go into the alpha state, we need to use the imagination to create a new belief. Because if you can't imagine yourself well, you can't get well. If you can't imagine yourself abundant, you can't be abundant. If you can't imagine yourself having whatever it is, you can't have it. You have to be able to imagine yourself repeatedly in this new state that you've never been before. It requires imagination. Then, number 3 is emotion. That probably speaks for itself. It means you've got to use the mind in the alpha state using imagination like a mind movement until you're charged with emotion, until you are fully engaged with emotion. So you can feel the feelings of joy, of having this thing, of happiness, of having this thing. That's how you create a new belief. Those are the 3 solid steps. They're the best steps. Yes, you can try and create a new belief through repetition. I'll just say it takes a lot longer. That's why to visualize or to use imagination in a meditative state is so powerful on the subconscious mind. And once you do that repeatedly, expectancy is a natural consequence. So that's how you create a new belief. Desire, belief plus expectancy. So using your mind, and this is when I say is 30,000 times more effective than trying to just create a belief or, just trying to get the feeling as if you've got it already, of having this thing to try and help you manifest. So when you need to manifest, those are the 3 steps. Then what you get after that are results. Every single result or outcome, whatever you want to term it, is feedback. So you've got to have the whole loop. You've got to have a strong burning desire, create a new belief through those 3 steps until you have expectancy. And then whatever goes on in your life, everything that happens is feedback for how you're programming. You're either getting closer to your target or further away. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'll give you a short example of this. When I was working in corporate and I really decided that I wanted something different, and I had this burning desire to get out and do personal development training, speaking and coaching, I was still in the corporate world, and I decided to create a clear desire. So I wrote a vision statement. I created a vision board. And then I used to visualize or use a certain technique every day. And I did this for a year because I had a fear of leaving corporate because I believed that a paycheck equals security. Then I heard a quote by Helen Keller that said, security is an illusion. It doesn't exist in nature. And I thought about that, I'm not kidding you not, every single day for years. I thought about that saying. What does it mean? That, security doesn't exist in nature. It's just an illusion. So then I thought about the animals. The ants don't wait to get fed. Birds fly around every day. No one's serving them up something to eat. Everything in this world really has a way of sustaining itself, and that's for us too. It's the beliefs we hold that we won't be sustained. But when you can get over that, life kind of carries you. So anyway, long story short, after a year of programming, nothing had changed. I didn't come over this limiting belief that I need the security of a paycheck. And then I thought, I remember the 30-day principle. You've got to do something every day for more than 30 days to create a new belief. So I did that too. And then just after that, I was catching up with a friend and I was talking about some leadership things that I was doing. And he said, you're so passionate when you talk about these things. You're so fired up. There's like a sparkle in your eye. I said, why don't you do this for yourself? I said to him, little did he know, I've been trying to do this for a whole friggin' year, programming for this, and I still hadn't got it. So I said to him, that's actually my dream. All I'm looking for is a golden bridge, financial golden bridge out of corporate to start building the training, speaking, coaching business. And then I heard myself say these words. I said, and I know it will just show up. I don't know what it is, but I know it will just show up. And I was so aware of hearing me say those words, and I realized finally now I've actually created a new belief because I had such expectancy, such a knowing. I knew the right thing. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know what the thing was. It would show up. And I kid you not, 4 weeks later, some intuitive idea popped in my head to call a guy named Mike Anderson, who I bought investment properties from. And long story short, gave him this opportunity, which I'm still doing today, of selling investment properties. So that was my golden bridge out. The point I want to make is when I said I know, it took a year to create a new belief of finding the thing to get me out there. And I'm sharing the story because some people want instant results. We will get instant results if your belief matches your desire. If you don't have the results, perhaps your belief is not there yet. You've got to keep programming. You've got to keep going. So that for me was a perfect example, and the feedback or outcome, I just want to share something else with you. In the last couple of months before I left corporate, I got the opportunity to apply for a job at Google. And at the time I thought, oh my goodness, this is heaven falling on my lap. Google, like, let's bow down to Google. And I never even got as far as the first interview. And I was so disappointed. I thought, what's wrong with me? I mean, I've got a great CV, good track record. Why is it happening? And I was so disappointed. I can't say I was devastated, but I was close. Anyhow, when a few months rolled on and I got the opportunity to leave corporate and follow my real dream, which is this that I'm doing, I realized that that door that closed was also part of the manifestation of the dream. It wasn't the wrong thing, it was the right thing. So in your own life, when doors close, please don't think always there's something going wrong. It could be that something's going right. It always is, to be honest. Everything is for your higher good. Everything, the good and the bad. So it's often guidance. So every outcome that you have is feedback. And when things keep bumping against you, find another way. Look at another option. It will lead you in the right direction. I've got tons of stories like the ones I've just told you. I've just written a book. I'm not too sure if you're aware. And the stories are in the book. And the more you get to hear other people's stories of how doors close, and it's like Marilyn Monroe says, sometimes good things must fall apart so that better things can fall together. And life is like that. Even when we have financial hard times, it's to bring us to a new awareness of something that we're meant to learn. And you're going to be stuck until you learn this thing. And if you can get to learn it, the floodgates open for you. So, my friends, here is the formula to create whatever it is that you want. I'll go back to what John said. It's important. Even though we have desire and we're creating a new belief through programming, I call it programming, alpha, imagine, and emotion, and we have the expectancy, even then, we should not be attached to the outcome. We should just have full faith that the right thing will show up. The same way I was first frustrated when Google never gave me the job, but with full faith, it means I know the right thing will show up, and I even don't know what it is. And then the right thing did show up. Okay. So what to notice? The first thing is feedback. Everything is feedback. Feedback that is not happening is feedback in itself. There's a reason. So when there's feedback of things not happening, the question is, how are you programming? What I mean by that is something's amiss. Something's not really 100%. Is it your desire? Is it your belief? Is it your expectancy? Most of the time, it's to do with our belief. So what are we doing in the actual programming? Are you doing it every single day? Are you focusing on not just the manifestation of it, but you've got to use your imagination and visualize past the manifestation of it. So I'll give you an example. If you wanted to manifest closing a contract, you don't visualize the signing of the contract and that's where it ends. You visualize past as if the contract is signed. Now, who do you have to recruit? What are the processes we need? What resources do we require? It's post. As if you have this thing already, what will you be doing then? In other words, you want to manifest the money, don't just see the money show up in your bank in your visualization. Go beyond that. How are you spending it? What makes your life different? What are you doing in your life that's different now because you have the money? So always go beyond it. Focus on outcomes. So surrender to the outcome or something better. Always program in your mind. Clearly state, I would like this in very clear terms or better than that. As I said, the universe knows more about what's good for you than what we do. Then focus on the benefits and the outcomes of already having achieved the goal, not on the achievement of the goal. Then the most important thing, this is so important, how you feel. How you feel. So you've got to get the feeling in your programming as if you've got this thing already. It's got to be so real in your imagination that you're actually living and experiencing it as if you have it right now. And you've got to have a lot of desire. You've got to fuel it with all your feelings in there, how you feel. And this intensity of desire, belief, and expectancy, that's the faith, that's the feeling of it. Now, that feeling of joy of having it is the feeling you need to keep practicing. Not the habitual thought of not having the thing. Because then you've got two contradictory vibrations going on. So when you're programming, that feeling of joy, in the Silva method, we lock that in with something called the 3 fingers technique. And when you're going through a normal day, if you get a worrisome thought or you're focusing on what you don't have, you can just put your 3 fingers together and recreate that charged emotion of joy of having it, because you've got to keep having that feeling, because that feeling is what attracts the thing to you. Now, something else. If anyone follows Abraham Hicks, Abraham says, if the only thing you ever need to do to have anything that you ever want is just this, feel good, feel good, feel good. Now, I'm mentioning this because let's say you have a goal about, let's just use money. It's easy. You can measure it. Let's say you have a goal about some money. If you just feel good about kissing your cat or laughing with friends, do that more. Do that thing that makes you feel good more. You will manifest the money through kissing your cat. I know this sounds crazy, but it doesn't matter what you're doing as long as you're feeling good. If you're feeling good, you're raising your vibration. Then everything that you want is a vibrational match. It'll bring more things to you that make you feel good. So the most important thing is how you feel when you're programming and how you feel when you're not programming. That is absolutely key. And if you struggle with worrisome thoughts, my friends, that's your work. It's your work to discipline the mind. Do whatever it takes. Listen to audios, read things that inspire you, read things that will comfort you. Some people read the Bible to give them comfort and strengthen as something stronger than themselves, whatever it may be. But do something that you don't go back to feeling worrisome thoughts. Any negative emotion, any, is going to impede the manifestation. If you have an argument with someone and angry, that will impede the manifestation of a job that you want or a partner that you want. They're not even related. So how you feel is really important. Remember, feel good, feel good, feel good. And the last thing is getting that idea. So I want you all to say out loud right now. When I'm feeling inspired, sometimes I get an idea. Say idea.
Idea.
Okay.
Idea.
Idea. My friends, idea is the first manifestation. When you want something, I'm talking about the key to manifesting this talk tonight. Make a note. Idea, the idea, getting an idea is the first manifestation. So as an example, when I told you that I was talking to that friend and said, I know the right thing will just show up, and I realized I'd created a new belief, it was approximately 3 or 4 weeks later, I was at work, I got this idea to phone Mike Anderson because I actually wanted to ask him about going into a joint venture to renovate properties. I did a renovating for property course. That was the idea I got. And then when I called him, the conversation changed. He said, Jeanine, stop, forget about that. Come and sell investment properties with me. It's much easier, far less work. You don't have to go into building sites and renovate. And that was better than I wanted. Because really, to be honest, I wouldn't want to hang out doing renovations all day. I'm not a guy. I wouldn't enjoy that. I love investment property and I love wearing decent clothes. So the best thing showed up for me. So whenever you get an idea, it was the idea that made me call him, and the better than that thing manifested. So when you get an idea, it's intuition. It's a spiritual seed. So the most important thing is you act on it. If you get the idea, you must act. And my friends, you must act immediately. Because when intuition flows, it comes as a very fast idea. It doesn't sit around. And if you don't either write it down or act on it straight away, I promise you it will disappear and you won't remember. So whenever you get an idea about your business, how to do this or how to do that, or either make a note or act on it straight away. But do act. Okay. I want to just show you 2 quick videos which will just demonstrate the power of belief. I'm just going to mute your microphones, all of you, and I'm going to play this video. So just have a listen up. Let me just check that the volume is on max. Okay.
These patients were able to regain some level of bladder control, which is very important, and also bowel function. They were able to basically, for the first time in many years, to control their routine, the bathroom routine, in addition to be able to move and to feel their bodies again.
Okay, so in that example, it was the use of the imagination that got their neural pathways in their brain to start reinvigorating nerves that could move their bodies. Now, that was the mind. Now I want to show you what desire can do in this video.
The truck is tipping. The hard sidewalk falls on me, crushes me.
Just some reality things going on. I had a dump truck accident and severed my spine.
The dark is dark, most silent. Everything is filled with darkness and silence. It's crazy. You're buried alive. I'm questioning God, like, why am I conscious? You know, I wish I would have been unconscious so I'd have to feel this pain. So I'm sitting there waiting to die. I'm thinking about my daughter. She's 2 at the time. I hope I don't remember her in the afterlife. This is what's going in my mind. I hope I don't remember my daughter in the afterlife. Because this really sucks to have a beautiful daughter. That's my heart and soul. And I'm going to die sitting here at the age of 2 when she's going to grow up without a dad. So I wasn't able to move my arms or my legs. They were paralyzed. So I wouldn't have to clothe me and feed me and bathe me and change me. I would dream, though. I was jumping up for like I was floating at 5'11", just bow, 360, and I was back, babe. The doctors would say, you know, I would hear that I wasn't going to walk again. C6-7, I wasn't going to be able to move my arms and legs and have control of them ever again. I've always thought you have to think you're an exception to be exceptional. You have to think of greatness to do great names to be great. And I just thought it was a test of greatness, and that's what was going to happen. And that's what it was, and that's the end of the story. And it was going to be a glorious story.
Right now we're at Central Texas Rehabilitation. It's been a year off since I've been here. I left here in a wheelchair. How you doing?
He couldn't move. We had to do everything for him. Day by day, minute, hour, month. We worked, and now he can walk. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, you're making me cry. Oh my God. Let me see. Jamar. Oh wait, you got a little swag going on, Jamar. You got a little swag going on, Jamar.
Every day, when my legs would move, it's okay. You're gonna move. You're moving. Even if I don't feel you, see, I feel you. I know I'm gonna make myself feel that you're moving.
Oh my gosh! Good. Honestly, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. That's the truth.
This is an amazing room. This is my main man right here.
And the truth says that it takes a good team, but it really is. It's got to be in your head. You can't stop trying.
He told me, man, like he's pushing me. Yeah, man. This is my buddy. You can come talk to me every day. Man, the relationships that we build here, man, is so awesome. The relationships that I got here last for a lifetime. That's the relationships you got to build with people, man. the last lifetime. That's what it's all about. That's what this life here, whatever we're doing here, is all about.
I'm a dunk it, man. I ain't gonna say it no more. You're gonna see it, man. Let's go.
Didn't you just love that? This is what he said to his legs. Even if you don't move, I'm going to make myself feel that you're moving. The reason I share these videos on paralysis is because it's a limiting belief. It's a limiting belief held by the medical industry for centuries. Paralysis is not permanent. I was blessed enough to know someone personally who was paralyzed from the neck down. I'm on the right, Ken, my Silva trainer in the middle, and to the left, the lady there with the blue sleeveless. Her name is Pooja. She's a Silva method trainer in Singapore. When she was 22, she fell out of a 2-story building, punctured her neck bundle, and was paralyzed from the neck down. The doctors told her she'll be quadriplegic. She took 7 years, and she said, I will walk again. In fact, I'll climb Mount Kilimanjaro. She used the Silva method. She used her mind. She used her desire. She used her belief. And she had such a strong desire to walk again. She did. And 4 years ago, she climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. So I'm sharing this with you because if this is what these people can achieve through desire, belief, and expectancy, which is faith, imagine what you could do with your goals in comparison. So you do not manifest what you want. You manifest what you believe. That guy with the last video, he said, you got to be exceptional. You got to think exceptional thoughts. He believed he would walk again. He said he used to just see himself playing basketball and he was paralyzed. He believed it. So belief is the key. The very first slide I showed you was when you believe it, you'll see it. It's all about creating a new belief. And there is a process for it. It's through alpha, using your imagination and emotion. And you keep doing that over and over repeatedly. Okay, so that's it. In summary, you don't get what you want, you get what you believe. The universe hears your vibration, not your words, and your vibration comes really from your beliefs. Your beliefs create your vibration. Desire, belief, and expectancy. And to create a new belief, those are the 3 steps. In the Silva method, we do it in what we call dynamic meditation. That's exactly what the course is. And then, my friends, everything is feedback. So be very aware of everything in your life that's happening. It's feedback for you. And adjust your programming, or else be aware that you need to detach, what John spoke about up front. Detach and have faith, or both, and allow it to flow in by managing your emotions and feeling good. And then evaluate everything and recalibrate. Once you've changed something in your programming or changed something in your detachment, evaluate. Just keep practicing day in and day out. Never, ever give up. If you want something with a strong enough desire, it will manifest. It will be created. Now, why being part of a community is important? I'm just going to share with you. This is my life. This is my passion. This is my work. This is my business. This is what I eat, sleep, breathe, drink, and do every day of my life, is help people create their own reality. That's the program, the Silva method, or leadership training, whatever it is, or buying investment properties. It's helping people create it. So what I've got up next, if you want to take part, is 2 things. I've got an 8-week mastermind on the book Think and Grow Rich. Coming up, and also the Silva method is another way for you to learn how to manifest in your life. So if anyone's interested, the mastermind starts in May. I think it's the 2nd of May. If you do, jump on the website and book your seat straight away. There's the link below because there's only a few spots left. I can't have too many people in the mastermind because I need to have everybody engaged and participate and active. So there's just a couple of spots left. So that's the one thing. And this is one of the most powerful and best-selling books on personal development of all time. And I have to say, it's just coincidence and interesting that Napoleon Hill and Jose Silva were doing this work at the very same time back in the 1930s and 40s. What Napoleon Hill says is, there's one quality which one must possess to win, and that is definiteness of purpose, the knowledge of what one wants, that's been clear, and a burning desire to possess it. So if you wonder what the book's about, these are the chapters. It's really about these 13 principles and how to integrate and apply them in your life. And all of them, every single one of them, is personal development. It's how to cultivate faith, how to use auto-suggestion, What does it mean to have specialized knowledge? How do you acquire it? Do you need to have the specialized knowledge yourself, or can you hire people with it? If you think of Henry Ford, he couldn't build an engine, but Henry Ford invented the car. That's specialized knowledge and how to employ it with a strong belief. He had such a belief in what he created. We have a whole chapter on the imagination and how the brain works. It's phenomenally interesting and very important for you to understand your imagination and how you create your life. Then organized planning, that's a wonderful chapter. The chapter on decision, how successful people make them quickly and swiftly, how unsuccessful people keep changing their minds and not making decisions quickly, and then, you know, all the rest of them there. So if you're interested, you can join that. Otherwise, the Silva method, there's one class coming up on Thursday to Sunday this week, and the next one's in May. Now, the one in May is over 2 weekends, Saturday, Sunday, then a gap, and then Saturday and Sunday. So if anyone's interested in that, just contact me. And then if you've got kids or know people who have kids, I've got a kids class on the 13th and 14th, which is in school holidays. It's a Saturday and Sunday. However, a prerequisite is that at least one parent must be a Silva grad. Otherwise, that's the end of the Meaningful Monday lesson. And next Monday is what's your definition of success? I love this one because it's very different to what I thought in my 20s, but I'll share mine with you. And the next event that's coming up is my book launch. Every one of you are invited, and you will get emails in the next couple of days. Please do RSVP whether you're coming or not coming. Either way, please RSVP for catering purposes. But otherwise, the 27th of April, 10 in the morning till 12. And as I say, everybody's invited, and it's at my office in Concord. Okay. Are there any questions about tonight before we get into the meditation for the evening? Or any comments or anything anybody wants to share about manifesting and what's the key? Yes, no, you're all on mute. Let me unmute you all. Any comments from anybody?
In Braddon before I go to the shop. But I will be in the shop for the whole day. We've got 2 interviews. One for the sales, one for...
Are you talking to me? No, that's Blandine. Blandine? Oh, sorry. Okay, she's talking to someone else. Sorry. Okay, guys. Are there any comments from anyone?
I'd just like to say something because I know it's so relevant. You know, I have this problem. I get little pain when I walk sometimes, etc., etc. When I get up and I say to myself, there's no pain, just walk normally, you are fine, there's nothing wrong. And what I want to say is that it works. It's worked for me, and also when I meditate and I imagine, as you said, I imagine how my back is being healed. I don't have a serious problem. However, it's bad enough that it causes me at times a lot of pain. And when I don't meditate and do that imagining, and I don't talk to myself and say to myself, you are fine and you are this, it just goes back and it slides. When I do it, I'm pain-free. So definitely, the mind is very, very powerful.
100%. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. It's a good example. And the mind is very powerful, and all healing can take place because of the mind. So yeah. So my friends, that's what can I say? The playing field is level. We all have the opportunity to create what we want. It just takes the discipline to do the inside work. Okay, are there any more questions? No? Okay, let's get into the guided meditation. So how this works is just get a pen and paper and rest it on your lap and get into a comfortable position. I'm going to just mute all your microphones right now. And sit with a pen and paper on your lap in the most comfortable position for yourself. And I'm going to talk you through a fractional relax from head to toe. And after that, I'm going to ask you questions at the end. Once you're deeply relaxed, they're just 3 questions. about your intention. So what do you like? What's your intention for the next month of April? What do I need to focus on for the month of April? I'll ask you, and I'm just going to give you a pause there. Whatever comes up for you, just write it down. Don't analyze it. Don't judge it. Just write it down and relax. And the second question, what steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? And the last question, what do I need to let go of? So you can relax now, sit in a chair or lie down as long as you can still write. And I'll just play a bit of music and I'll put my video off. Okay, so the purpose of this meditation is to set your intention for the month of April and for you to also learn that you can do this anytime on your own, to go into meditation and ask yourself a question when you're deeply relaxed, and you will receive answers from your higher self or your intuition or your inner being, whatever term you want to use, and get answers that are most likely wiser and more right for you than if you did it in a normal conscious state. So let's experiment with it tonight and see how you go. So just close your eyes and take a nice deep belly breath. And as you exhale, just allow all the tension in your body to release and just float away. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, just feel your body relaxing. Keep breathing deeply, slowly, and rhythmically. Feel the tension leaving your scalp from the top of your head all the way down. Relax your forehead. If you get a tingling sensation, it means that you're relaxing. Relax your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your tongue and jaw. Relax your neck. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, just relax your shoulders, your arms, and your hands. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, feel the tension leaving your back. Relax your chest. Relax your abdominal area. Relax your hips and pelvic area. Take another deep breath and allow the tension to leave your thighs. Just relax your thighs. Relax your knees. Relax your calves. Relax your feet all the way down to your toes. You are now experiencing a deep state of relaxation. Now you're going to create in your mind an ideal place of relaxation. It can be real or imagined, somewhere where you've been or somewhere that you'd like to go. Just allow it to be a place where you feel totally relaxed. Begin to experience this place right now. Now that you've created your ideal place of relaxation, you're going to add a waterfall of white light into the scene. Place it wherever you choose. The waterfall is gentle, allowing you to stand under the cascading white light. This light is a healing energy, a clearing energy. Your waterfall of light is now created. Walk over to the waterfall and stand under the white healing light. Allow the white light to swirl around you, encompassing you within its glow. Feel it clearing the stress, tension, and clutter of your day. Feel it clearing the stress, tension, and clutter of the past week, the past month, the past year, and of your lifetime. Feel this white light clearing your energy field, clearing all that clutter and tension and stress from your atmosphere or from your aura. And as the light clears your energy, just notice how much happier you look. Notice the smile on your face. See how the weights that you've been carrying are no longer a burden. Notice how your energy field is expanding out as you are radiating love. This waterfall of light is always available to you whenever you need it. All you need to do is close your eyes and imagine your ideal place of relaxation and immerse yourself in this healing white light. Now take a deep breath, relax deeper, and repeat these beneficial statements to yourself mentally. Every day, in every way, I am getting better, better, and better. Positive thoughts, suggestions, and images bring me benefits and advantages I desire. I will always maintain a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. The following statements are for your better health. Keep in mind, from now on, I'll be speaking in your place. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every cell, tissue, organ, and system of my body is revitalized, restored, and renewed, resulting in a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. I'm able to function in harmony physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to promote maximum benefits. My awareness in using my mind allows me to do activities that promote increased health physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now imagine the white light turns to green. You are now immersed in a glowing green light. This green light is unconditional love. This love surrounds you. It encompasses you. It flows through your entire being. It fills you with love. all those hurts you felt, all those pains you felt, the angry moments. Just allow this green, unconditional love, this light, to heal all those spaces now. You are an amazing human being. You deserve love. You deserve joy. You deserve abundance. And you deserve peace. It is now time to step out of the waterfall. Step out of the waterfall of light. Your energy field is now clean and clear. You are centered and energized. You are able to think more clearly, focus more easily. You are in the flow of universal love and energy. Take a moment now to bask in this feeling of connectedness. You have now reset your body and mind for the month. It is now time to set your intention for the month of July. Tune in to your inner wisdom, to your higher self. That part of you that, if you tuned in, guides you and intuitively knows what is best for you. I'm going to count back from 10 to 1. The count of 1, you will have tuned in to your own inner wisdom, your higher self. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are now tuned in to your inner wisdom, the part of you that, when you tuned in, guides you and intuitively knows what is best for you. Feel the alignment with your higher self. Feel the connection. And now ask yourself the following question. What do I need to focus on for the month of April? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. And then take a deep breath, close your eyes, and re-enter your meditation. What do I need to focus on for the month of April? Next question. What steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? What steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? Whatever comes to mind, just write it down. Next question. What do I need to let go of? What do I need to let go of? And then lastly, just ask yourself, is there anything else? Is there anything else I need to know or do or be? Is there just anything else? Now just allow a deep breath, and as you exhale, relax. Bring your attention back to your body. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes and just give a big stretch. Blessings to you, my friends. Excuse me. Well, welcome back, everybody. Did you enjoy that? Yes? No? Maybe?
It was really good.
Excellent. Did anyone get any helpful answers? You don't have to share the answers. Just share, did you get any helpful answers? Or if you want to share, you can. How did you go, Joanna?
Yeah, pretty good. I relax. I get relaxed very good. And yeah, probably things that I need to do, like probably more focus in what I'm doing, and probably like time management also.
Excellent. Okay, so you got some answers there and focus. Really good. Trust them. Act on them. How did you go, Malcolm? Is this your first Meaningful Monday?
Yes, it was.
How was it? Oh, okay.
Well,
Okay, but did you get to relax at least?
no, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. It comes with practice. You know, attention can be distracting. It does. Meditation and focusing is practice, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. John, how about you? He's on mute. Denise, you okay?
Sorry, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay, go.
I did get a little distracted too. Unfortunately, I didn't quite maintain the focus. So I'll just listening in.
Yes, so that's okay, and it's normal, and it happens to the best of us. And sometimes we are a bit distracted. All I can say is meditation takes practice, and all of us get better with practice. It's very healthy, and I recommend it. And even if you just took some minutes now when we say goodbye to try tonight or maybe tomorrow or whenever, just try and do it and see if you can ask your mind, what is your intention for this month? To focus, what to do, and just see what answers you get. And I recommend it to everyone. Okay, folks. Any other comments? I'm going to switch the recording off.